man. I said we're gonna do better with our time because man, we went an hour and 42 minutes on the recap show, and I told him I said, hey, we're gonna try to keep this show at an hour and a half, man, so people won't shed away from us. But let's dive into the high school scene. I know tonight you got 3-1 Hamilton, 3-1-1 Hamilton. That tie. I don't know what's going on, but they're at 2-2 Smithville. I think that's a misprint. I think they're 3-1, and they're at 2-2 Smithville tonight. You got 1-2 West Lowndes at 4-0 Hatley tonight, and you got 4-0 Baldwin at 0-4 East Union. So those are some teams that we do need to keep an eye on because Hamilton, Hatley, and Baldwin. We're going to see them at some point. Now on tomorrow night, we got 1-3 Vardaman at 3-1 Water Valley. We got 0-4 Houston at 1-2 New Hope. We got 2-2 Walnut at 3-1 Myrtle. You got 3-1 Aberdeen, fresh off the 8-game title, going to 2-2 Itawamba. You got 1-3 Okolona at surprisingly 0-4 Nettleton. You got 3-1 Noxapater at 4-0 Eupora. You got 3-1 Biggersville at 1-3 Alcorn Central. You got 0-4 Coffeyville going to 1-3 Potts Camp. And now you got another big one in Oxford, man. And I'm telling you, I don't know how traffic's going to be, but they said it was terrible last week and it was a 2-lane game. LSU is in the house, but on tomorrow, number 5 Grenada, 4-0 Grenada is going to Oxford. And once again, Oxford is almost looking like they're in the SEC now.
Yeah.
I mean, week to week, you're playing top notch. Grenada, which is a couple of years removed from a state title, and look like they regroup and condolences and prayers out to the Grenada football team and the family. They lost a player this week that was found deceased. And we do extend our prayers out to the Grenada community, the football team. That's a difficult time. I know you went through that, losing a teammate, and that's very hard to deal with. And then you're trying to focus and prepare for a game. So we do extend our prayers out to them. 3-0 West Point will be at 4-0 Tupelo. That's going to be a good one.
Wow.
You got 3-0 Pontotoc at 3-1 New Albany. You got 3-1 Starkville at 2-2 Brandon. You got 2-2 Louisville at 3-1 Noxubee County. You got 1-3 South Pontotoc at 1-3 Amory. So those are a couple of the scores that in the local teams that's in the local area to be playing tomorrow. Also, Calhoun City will be traveling to Shaw. Calhoun City is 3-1 and Shaw is 0-4. I don't think Calhoun City is going to have any problems handling that game. Matter of fact, I predict a running clock at halftime.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But there are some really good games around the state tomorrow. It's a good slate.
Yes, in the high school scene, I am currently looking for different reporters at different places to kind of help us out. One thing, Coach Jennings called me after the last episode, and he let me have it. But he did make a good point. He said a lot of the stuff that you see on the numbers. He talked about how the penalties and that forced them to throw the ball, that forced them out of their regular game plan. And you do have to watch the game to kind of know what's really going on. And he said that played a big issue. He said they would have, the drives wouldn't sustain. And I think you mentioned that. The drive wouldn't sustain because of, they'll break a big run and there's a penalty. And we've been on the receiving end of that. So I am working on getting different people in different places to kind of help us out, to let us know the visual, give us the visual so we can talk about it, or we'll bring you on and let you talk about it. Yeah. We got no problem bringing you on. We share the wealth. But on tomorrow night, the Bruce Trojans will be trying to do something that has not been done. I had that pulled up and then I lost it that quick.
It's still 04, ain't it?
I think it is 04. I'm going to make sure that they did indeed
I
Start
think
out.
the '04 team started out like 7 or 8-0.
Okay, so I'm looking at that schedule now, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They started out 8-0, so they still got a ways to cover what that '04 team. Man, that lets you know how special that team was.
I do remember following that team around every Friday night. That would be my fourth grade year, and those were the heroes that we looked up to. Man, that was a good
Oh,
group.
Coach, let me tell you something that's gonna break your heart. They lost 2 games that year. That year,
You
lost
poor
it
was one of them.
19-14, and they
Greenville
lost.
was the other one.
They lost the third round game to Boonville,
Yeah.
14-10. Oh my God, that was a state championship team right there.
I think the Eupora game, if I remember right, and I know we got to get going with what's happening currently. But I think we had scored the go-ahead touchdown, and there was like an inadvertent whistle or something
Yep,
that
yep.
stopped it.
Stop the play, and that is the most. I think Grubbs like to lost his head that night.
Yeah,
He was severely pissed, and I get it. And you know when you look at this, this is why I got that '04 team. I know a lot of people probably gonna get some slack for this. I got '95 as my number one team in Bruce history. This '04 team is number two. I know we won the state championship in '96. I'm just speaking on just overall. That '04 team has always been number four on my list, and I had 90. I always had '96 as my number three team. I had that '92 team as my number four team, and I had that '12 team as my number five because those 5 teams right there were special teams. And I just look at, a state championship is special, but what that '95 team did it was crazy to run the table and to lose the North half 6-0. And to this day, and I'm gonna take it with me. I don't care what they say. Chad Cook crawled into that end zone. We were all sitting there. We was in eye view of that goal line. And at that time, I know we got to move on, but I got to tell the story. At that time, Calhoun City did not have a field goal kicker. It was fourth. It was fourth, third and goal, and we knew that they was going to go for it. He was hit at probably the 1 inch, probably the 3-4 inch line, and he back crawled into that end zone, and the referees signaled touchdown. But that wasn't the reason that we lost the game. We couldn't get no offense generated. You got to give Coach Ballman and his staff. I work with Coach Ballman in Tupelo. I'm trying to put myself in Tupelo. I work with Coach Ballman in Coffeyville. Had to give him and his staff credit because they had a game plan to neutralize Marcus Thomas, to neutralize Migo, and didn't let Ed Spencer get going. And they upset us. But that '95 and that '04 team, those 2 teams are special. But on tomorrow night, Bruce got an opportunity to start off 5-0.
yeah. Who'd have thought that it would have been that long since we had been 5-0 and
Oh my gosh.
or had a chance to be 5-0, and I just feel like we thought this year was going to be an improvement, but they're got a chance to be 5-0, and it's not like they've played a bunch of close games. They've handled their business, so I feel good about their chances to get to 5-0 tomorrow, and it's going to be exciting. I think that the homecoming crowd, there'll be an atmosphere around
Yeah.
that's going to propel this team and get them over the edge, and it's going to be a good night. I got a good feeling about it.
And I'm with you with that. The Faulkner game didn't really feel like it shouldn't have went back and forth like that. We had so many mistakes in the beginning that we really could have took the air out of the ball.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, keep 7 from running the football. If you go up 3 touchdowns, that's going to stop that, and it's going to make them go back to what they normally do. So, but outside of that, in the South Pontotoc game, I think Bruce had really.
The South Pontotoc game was a 2-score game, right? I mean, it was or was it 1 score? 30, was it 30?
Oh, it ended up being 1 score because they had to, that tackle at the end, like it would have, the score, let me go back and find this score.
36-28 or something like that.
I think it ended up being a 1-score game.
I think that's right.
That last touchdown would have been crucial. We won 32-28. So if they would
I thought it was 36-20. So yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah. If they would have scored then, like when they tackled them, that would have put us in a bind, and that would have made us have to go back down and score. But Bruce they defeated South Pontotoc 32-28, beat Vardaman 42-7, Faulkner 46-35, and then last week 38-16. So, like you said, they're doing it in a way that's really um, it's getting the job done, and today. The atmosphere is different, man. Migo came down today to talk to the players, and I was watching the players. I'm a big body language guy, and we've had problems in the past. Me and you both have coached here, and you can bring somebody in, and you can tell when people they're hearing but they're not hearing.
Right.
Coach, I can tell you tonight, every eye was zeroed in on Migo.
Awesome.
I didn't see nobody on their phone. I didn't see nobody drift off. Every eye was focused on him. That right there is that is the difference that I'm seeing.
And when you've got that level of buy-in, I think this team has good chemistry, and I'm not trying to get way down the road with this team. I think they're well coached. I think, at some point you got to stop looking at can they get to 5-0. I think they've got a chance to be special. I think they've got a chance to think things in the division line up to where you could draw a certain seed. Things could fall right for you. I think that we're going to have to start looking at this team a little differently, just based on because I see it. I'm not there every day, but even like when you see how they carry themselves, say after a mistake or after a good play, it seems like they stay kind of level. They don't drop their head or they don't get way over emotional. They just kind of stay even keel and keep it going. So I think we're getting close to starting to talk about this team a little differently.
And that's where the coaching part comes into play. A lot of people don't understand that it's more than X's and O's. You could be the most talented player in the world, and you can have all the attributes that's needed to be great. But if you can't maintain a certain mentality on the field, or on the court, or whatever that you do, then it's all for nothing. And sometimes I guess because I am currently still a coach, I kind of discredit our influence as far as wins and losses sometimes, because I'm a firm believer, especially in basketball. I remember when I was in Coffeyville, a lot of people used to give me credit for a lot of the wins that we had, but I was like, crap, my starting five was 5'10", 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", and 6'5". I mean, it was nothing I done.
Right.
But at the same token, you have to be able to navigate that type and be able to make it work. And that's one of the things that I am seeing. Not only, we talked about in that episode that there's a great complement of players, they complement each other. I can say that the coaches complement each other.
That's good.
You don't see everybody they're complementing each other to the point to where everything is fitting. And when you got coaches fitting, then the team is going to fit. And then you're going to start having some success.
And I think I think, I think a lot of Coach Ray's staffs were great examples of that. Like they all complemented each other. Coach Maddox, Coach Clark, they had all worked together for a long time, and been together. So I see where having that fit of a coaching staff translates. And I agree with you. I just think it's a talented staff. I think they're good at what they do. But,
yeah.
Also the fact that they complement each other, there's not egos button or heads button and things like that. They're all on the same page. It's easier to put them pieces together and go find success.
It makes a difference. Well, on tomorrow night, they will be facing Jay-Z George. Just want to run some stats across to you. Jay-Z George is averaging 201 yards a game. Well, Bruce is averaging 410 yards a game. Points, Jay-Z George is averaging 26 points a game. Bruce is averaging 39.5. The all-time record is listed as 6-2. That one of those two was a very unfortunate night.
We ain't got time to.
Anyway, we lost 8-4. We lost 8-44, but I won't bring up what happened that game. But it was that type of night. But I do believe Bruce do what they're supposed to do on tomorrow night. Then they're gonna be successful, and we're gonna be 5-0, and y'all can come and meet me at the party over there at the park with my class. Class 95 will be at the pavilion because that's what we do. And you go over there and party. But you know what I love about it? That my class, we have a group chat before we move on to the next subject. And one of my classmates asked, "Is there a way that we can watch the game?" Now this classmate don't have no dog in the fight. He don't have no family out there. But it was important that he wanted to know is there a way that we can. And then somebody else said, "Yeah, the Bruce Booster Club was streaming." So now that the fans want to be a part of it,
Yeah,
the last couple of years we were just all about the party at the homecoming and just being able to see our friends. But now we want to know what's going on at the game now. So that's huge, man. That is huge, and I'm loving it, brother. I'm loving it.
it is, man, and it's good for the kids because I remember as a player, we had a packed crowd, a lot of buzz all the time, especially my junior and senior year, and there was just an atmosphere that I think if you play football, you should get to experience that. So
Yeah,
I'm glad these
yes.
kids, it's part of the experience, and I'm glad they're getting to experience it.
Crap, Chris Ford, get well soon, man. My bad. I hate you didn't get to enjoy that. But so we're gonna let's move on to the. I just want to go over the JUCO games that's going on tonight. Just want to go over it briefly. I don't want to lose. I thought about it like we can't leave the JUCO out. I know we haven't covered them in the last couple of weeks, but I do want to at least bring up some games of interest. You got Hines traveling to East Central tonight. We got a big one in my alma mater. Northwest is going to Northeast tonight for a big one. You got Colin is going to Southwest. Mississippi Gulf Coast is at Pearl River. Itawamba, fresh off of the big upset of East Mississippi, they are traveling to Mississippi Delta. And on Saturday, you got East Mississippi going to Coahoma College. You got Holmes Community College going to Jones. Current standings right now, Holmes is 2-0 in the division, in the North Division. They're 2-2 on the year. Itawamba is 1-0, 2-2 on the year. Northeast Mississippi is 1-1 in the division, 3-1 on the year. Northwest is 1-1, 3-1 on the year. East Mississippi is 1-1, 2-2 on the year. Mississippi Delta is 0-1, 0-4 on the year, and you got Coahoma that's 0-2 and 0-4 on the year. Northwest is still have a fighting chance to get in the conversation right now. They're ranked number 7 in the poll, so they didn't do themselves any favors by losing to East Mississippi, but
You can't lose no more. You
you
burnt your
can't.
boats.
Yeah, you got to win. You got to win out. Right now, you got our Western Community College is 2-1, ranked number 2. So that gives Northwest a chance. But Mississippi Gulf Coast is currently ranked number 4, and Hines Community College is ranked number 14. So we got 3 teams in Mississippi that's ranked, and at the end of the year, those top 2 teams will advance to the national championship game. So that is the JUCO level on tonight. And we just want to let everybody know that this episode is sponsored by Clear Whey Protein Powder. It's a refreshing high protein drink that transforms your post-workout routine. Crafted with pure whey protein isolate, this innovative formula offers a light and flavorful alternative to the traditional protein shakes. And I hated that chalky taste of protein shakes. So this is a breath of fresh air that I can get my protein in without having to worry about that chalky taste. It has 0 lactose and 0 sugar. It caters to those seeking a clean, transparent approach to fitness, nutrition without compromising on taste or quality. Go to their website at www.clearprotein, that's KLEAR protein.com. You can get a discount. Go into when it comes to the promo section, type in Coach 25 and you will get a 20% discount. We're just letting you know that the coaches, we're sending you to get you some quality protein and you're going to get 20% off. So make sure that you visit www.clearprotein.com and get yours today. Coach, it's time to go to the college, and we're going to run through the top 25. We're going to talk about the spreads and the line, and then you are going to take over, and you're going to give us the keys to winning this weekend. All right, on Friday night, you got number 8 Florida State going to Virginia. Florida State is a 6.5-point favorite. Also on Friday night, you got number 24 TCU is going to Arizona State. But here's the shocker. Arizona State is a 3.5-point favorite. How do you feel about that?
There's some weird lines. Let me look and see. I'm pretty sure I took this is a bad pod because I took TCU. I like TCU.
I like TCU.
I thought it was. I'm telling you, there's multiple games I feel this way. I don't know if like early money came in one way and it then switched or something. I don't know, but I've got TCU in that one. That's a weird line to me.
And I'm shocked over when I saw it earlier today. I said, well, let me make sure. I had to clean my glasses because I was like, we saw Arizona State. We saw them against Mississippi State. I'm not sold on it. And then talking to you, I got even more unsold on them. So TCU is the pick on that for me. On Saturday, we got number 16 Georgia Tech going to Wake Forest. Georgia Tech is a 13.5-point favorite. You got number 21 USC traveling to number 23 Illinois. I'm still trying to get used to these funky Big Ten schedules when you got teams that's on the West Coast that's traveling all the way to the East Coast to play a conference game. That is crazy, but we are in a different time and era right now. USC is a 6.5-point favorite. You got number 22 Notre Dame traveling to Arkansas. And we talked about it earlier. I am shocked at the spread, and it's letting me – Vegas is not even believing in Notre Dame. But Notre Dame is a 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I think this is a game where if I had to guess the reason for the line, Vegas is expecting a shootout. I don't know what the total is, but
the total is 64.5.
Yeah, so I think they're expecting Arkansas to score, and I think they expect Arkansas not to stop anybody. So I could see a game, and Notre Dame's not done anything to make me believe in them. So. I do think that they'll cover the 4.5, but I don't see them blowing out. I think Arkansas will score enough points for it to be an interesting game.
Well, all right, we got Utah State traveling to number 18. Vanderbilt is in the top 20. Number 18, Vanderbilt, and they are a 22.5-point favorite.
And Coach, they dropped 70 on Georgia State last week, so you better lay them.
Yeah, I think you can. I think that's a safe one right there. All right, you got number 1 Ohio State traveling to Washington. Once again, another one of these funky Big Ten games from the East Coast and West Coast. They are 7.5-point favorite. Is that shocking? Do you think they should have been more?
I think that it'll end up being more. I think that what you're seeing, because you've seen it a few times this year already, and last year kind of had the same trend, as you're seeing where these conferences make no sense geographically, and you're seeing these traveling through different time zones, playing. I think that, those road games, road teams, they're not expecting as good of play out of them on these long road trips. And there's data to support it when you look at games from last year and some of these early games this season.
Okay, we got the big one that we'll wait. We'll come back to that one because we're gonna get in depth. We're gonna get deeper on that. We got Auburn. Will be traveling to number 9 Texas A&M. Got reports this week that the receiver Horatio Fields, who's ranked 3rd on the team with 12 receptions, 106 yards, and a touchdown, will be sidelined indefinitely with a broken foot. Being a third option, I think with Hugh Freeze and I'm pretty sure number 4 is probably just as talented as number 3. So I don't think that's going to make a big deal. A&M is a 6.5-point favorite. You got number 11 Indiana traveling to Iowa. Indiana is a 7.5 point favorite. You got this is going to be it. I think this is sneaky. This is a sneaky big game. Number 15 Tennessee is going to Starkville to take on 4-0 Mississippi State. Are you shocked that Mississippi State is still not ranked?
I am. I mean, they've got a win over a top 25 team.
Yes.
They've the schedule that's been put in front of them. They've won the games.
Won the game.
They've covered lines. I think they're the only team that's not only or undefeated, but they're undefeated against the spread. I think there might be 3 other teams that have covered every line and won every game. So, I mean, I don't see why you can't put them 25th. I mean,
Yeah.
at a minimum, that could have been a top 25 matchup in Starville.
Well, Tennessee is a 7.5 point favorite. Tennessee going to Starkville and beating Mississippi State by more than 7 points. I don't know, Coach. I got Mississippi State winning this. I got Mississippi State upsetting Tennessee.
I think that there's you got to think about like that atmosphere. If they decide not to ring them cowbells responsibly, that place gets loud.
That is a headache.
And we've seen this quarterback against Georgia. He put some balls in there that I was like, he'll throw it to you.
Yes, he will.
State plays extremely hard. Like I know, and I've probably said this in an earlier podcast when we talked about State. I know that Levy's an offensive guy. You want to see good offense, but they play really hard defensively.
Yes.
And don't make a ton of mistakes. They just do what they're supposed to do, and they play extremely hard. So, I mean, I think this game, Tennessee should definitely be on upset alert.
Well, I take State. Take the money line. Arizona will be traveling number 14 Iowa State. Iowa State is a 6.5 point favorite. The game that I will be at home watching tomorrow night, number 6 Oregon will travel to the all white, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna white out that stadium.
White out.
That stadium, when they are rocking, they are rocking. And they're traveling to number 3 Penn State. Penn State is a 3.5 point favorite. Is that you think that's accurate?
No, I have no faith in Drew Aller in the big games. I saw enough in the Peach Bowl that I'm a never Aller guy. Like I don't have the faith in him. Now, granted, I know Oregon's not been the best in big game situations. They don't have a ton of just signature wins. But I do think Oregon to me is one of the. I don't know if they're not the number 1 team in the country. What I've seen so far. So I've got Oregon winning by a touchdown.
The Big Ten is stacked. The Big Ten and the SEC, I mean, it looked like they could just start a league by themselves and because both conferences is like basically what we've read tonight in the top 25 is either a Big Ten game or an SEC game. So regardless of what people feel, regardless of how frustrated they are, it is what it is. It ain't too many ACC, teams that we mentioned, ain't too many Big 12 teams that we mentioned. These two conferences are the cornerstone powerhouse conferences in NCAA football. Number 17 Alabama will be going to number 5 Georgia. Georgia's a 3.5 point favorite. Winless Massachusetts will be going to number 20 Missouri. Missouri is a 43.5 point favorite. Coach, but here lately, the last couple of weeks, go ahead and take that line.
Yeah.
Because people have been covering those big lines. Teams have been covering those big lines.
Yeah, usually, especially with like your SEC schools, it's all about do they feel like it? And most of the time they get there before they feel like taking the foot off the gas. So I on my list, I laid the 43.5. I got
Yeah,
covering it.
I feel like that's going to be. I think they're going to take that. Last we got number 25 BYU um, traveling to Colorado, and BYU is a 6.5 point favorite. Do you think Prime can rally the troops to get back on the winning side this week?
I got BYU, just because I don't know a ton about them, but the little bit I've seen, they do look like, I would say, they actually have a chance to fight Texas Tech on that Big 12 spot. Just looking at what I've seen. Now, it's been mainly highlights, and I know there's a lot more to games than that. But I think that they'll get this win against Colorado. I don't see it this week.
So to me, and just let me know if you kind of agree or disagree. Colorado kind of seems like uh, a a bunch of parts that's laid out, and a bunch of people trying to put the bunch of parts together, and everybody's just getting in the way of everybody.
I think that's a fair assessment of it. I haven't seen every play of Colorado, but from what I have seen, I do think that that's pretty fair. Like there's some pieces there. I just don't know if the continuity's there
Yeah.
to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's get into what everybody has been waiting to hear all day. Number four, LSU travels to Oxford, Mississippi to take on number 13, Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is a 1.5 point favorite. And today, before you get started, Pat McAfee tried his best to pull who will be starting this weekend out of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
And Pat McAfee, I watched the show. He was very strategic and tricky about it. And he tried to spin it like, well, the reports have it's just in. And Lane just kind of looked at him like, well, let me call the coaches and let them know that they're supposed to be starting. But I do believe that Trinidad is starting this week. But this is what I think. I believe Lane is going to play both quarterbacks.
I think that uh, Lane's kind of been what the rule states. I mean, it's an availability report. It's not an injury report, and we don't see Austin Simmons on it, so
Yeah.
he's available. And if he needs to play, if they think he needs to play for them to win, I think he's going to play. You're living in an era now where they're having to earn what they're getting paid. So if it comes to it, I think he will play if needed. But I do think, like you said, I think this Trinidad will take the starting role for him for
Well,
sure.
well, let's break down this game. We're going to call this the Benji Minute.
All right.
Our first segment or another segment, but this is called a Benjamin. Wait till I get the graphics together, man. It's gonna be awesome. We're
You
gonna
get the
have
music in the background too.
go have the music, go have the graphic, but this is the Benjamin minutes. What are the keys? Or let's talk about this LSU and Ole Miss game.
Well, I've got an offensive key and a defensive key, and they all revolve around the same position groups. I've watched a ton of film. I've listened to a ton of LSU podcasts to try to get their feeling on if they feel the same way as I do about the tape, the people that see the team every day. I believe this game, like every game, it's cliche to say, but I believe the lines of scrimmage is what's going to matter. You look at LSU, I think keys for offense, you look at the LSU front seven, there's NFL talent all over it. So I think it's going to be very important for us, we have to win on early downs and stay ahead of the chains to make sure that they're not just teeing off on us. Because I do think our offensive line has improved from week one to now, but I think that this is a group. They remind me of the Ole Miss front seven from last year, that if they get the opportunity to pin their ears back, we're going to be in trouble. And I think that, you're going to get some help if Chambliss plays because he's a running quarterback. He's just going to be your plus one guy. He's going to add a gap to defend. And, you may get in a situation where they decide to roll down, play play a back end guy in the running game, and you may get some man to man opportunities, and you're going to have to take advantage of that. But I think it all will boil down to how well they perform in early down situations to keep that defense from just pinning their ears back and coming after us. And then on the defensive side of the ball, at some point, our front seven has got to step up and create some havoc. And I think if there was a week to do it, it would be this week. I think LSU's weakest point, I think they've got really good wide receivers. I think they've got a really good quarterback. But up front on offense, I think they struggle. And we have to find a way to make Nussmeier uncomfortable because I think he's an NFL talent that if we give him time, he has NFL-type receivers to throw it to. But, if they can stop the run and dial up some pressure, I think maybe Perkins can find his way into a rush scenario. He's played a lot of coverage. Maybe you move him more into a rush situation. Maybe Mialen plays more than just – it looks like he's been a package guy where it's obvious passing situations. Maybe you see him play more and try to get after the quarterback. I just think that they're going to have to find a way to get pressure, and they've got to hit home when they do get it. So those are my keys to the game. I think on the first drive of the game for both teams, we're going to know immediately where this game's going. And all you got to do is look at the lines of scrimmage to figure it out.
So what advantage, quarterback-wise, who give us the best opportunity? Who give us the best chance?
I think it depends on – I would say Chambliss just because he's going to give you an extra gap in your running game. But if they decide to come out and stop the run, do we trust him in the passing game? If you had a healthy Simmons that you could turn loose running, I would say Simmons because I do think he has enough zip on the ball to beat some. Like this is going to be a really good secondary. This ain't going to be the floating them up on the sideline type.
Yeah.
Like that's not going to get this done. But I do think that if Trinidad's your healthy quarterback that can give you something in the running game, force them to play an extra gap, and you find a way to beat the blitz in the passing game through an RPO or through a quick game or whatever, and you can and make that work, I think he'll be fine.
So as far as running football, is the in between the tackles going to be the option, or is it going to be the edge, or can we run it in at all?
Well, I think anytime you watch a Lane Kiffin offense, they're determined to run it between the tackles. And I think that, you're going to have to, but I do think that Trinidad Chambliss will have to make plays on the edge for them to be successful in the running. Like he's going to have to, especially like when you think about if they bring a lot of pressure and play man behind it, he's going to have to extend plays, get outside the pocket, and run on the outside to give them a chance. So I think you're going to have to be able to do both. Like there's going to be times where you're going to get in third and short, and you're going to have to be able to run between tackles. But, so I think Kewan Lacey is going to be you need him to have a big game in the sense.
So the big question everybody want to know, Coach, who wins the ball game?
I'll give you a score and everything. I have a 27-20 Ole Miss win.
Woo! You heard it first. You saying we take this game 27-20, and I'm just going to roll with that one.
I think that we're going to get enough pressure. I think we're going to see our defensive line put a game together, and I think Nussmeier's going to throw us one, and we're going to win by a touchdown.
Well, you know what, brother? I will take that, and I will run with that. And rest assured, when we win that, man, all my LSU compadres, you will not want to watch the show on Sunday night. So make sure that you that don't happen.
Hey, and if I'm wrong, Don't crucify him.
Oh, you got to get lit up. You got to get lit up. Unleash your inner strength and beat fatigue with the Patriox Liquid Oxygen. Pure spring water oxygenated for ultimate vitality. Refresh, detox, and empower your freedom fighting spirit. Go to patriox.us, that's patriox.us, and click on get you some water that's going to do more than just quench your thirst. It's going to do a lot more. But when you go there, type in Coach 25 in the promo section, and you will get 10% off of anything that you order. That's patriox.us, Patriox Water. How to beat fatigue is Patriox Liquid Oxygen. Well, Coach, man, we almost to that 30-minute mark. I said we was gonna do an hour and 30 minutes. I promised people, so we got 8 more minutes. But what I want to do before we go dive into the NFL, quickly go through the NFL. I've been glancing back and forth tonight. The Arizona Cardinals are looking like grade A garbage. The Kyler Murray experiment bust in. It's not working, and it's just time to end it. It's not working at all. But tonight is Thursday night giveaway. Now, we tried to get everybody involved, man. We tried to give you an opportunity. I don't know, maybe you didn't think we was going to give it away for real or whatever the case may be. So I guess tonight we just got to make believer out of folks. And then when they get something, they're going to tell somebody. They're going to tell somebody else. And like the next time they giving giveaways, man, all you got to do is just apply, or all you got to do is subscribe. It don't even cost you any money. Just subscribe to our podcast, rate us, send us a screenshot, and you'll go into the drawing. But this week, let me share my screen because I want everybody to see it. We are going to, now I'm going to give away, well, we're going to give away $25, but isn't there something else attached to that, Coach?
Yeah, Carrie said that she was, if you were a female in there, I think that's all of them we had signed up. She was matching a free blowout at the salon. So,
and give the name of the salon and location.
It's the Nail Boutique in Bruce, Mississippi, over there across from, what is that, State Farm and
State Farm right beside
and Dr. Poulin and the dance studio and Joe's, all right there.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to spin the wheel. If your name is pulled, we are going to post it on our website, and you will have 24 hours to email us your Cash App handle, and we will send you $25. So here we go. It's time. Let me get to this point. Let me get where I can spin the wheel. I need to hide my ads over there. I don't need the WWE and ESPN to be trying to sneak their ads in on our stuff. Well, let me spin this wheel before something else come on. Let me close the ads. Y'all ain't gave us no money to be advertising on our show. All right, here we go. We spinning. You gotta be kidding me. Mary Alex Cockless is our winner tonight. Oh my God.
Congratulations.
I'm going to hear this all day tomorrow. She's going to come in celebrating. Mary Alex is our winner tonight. She wins the $25 cash giveaway, and she wins the blowout. We're going to work on some more giveaways. All you got to do is subscribe to the one of the top podcasts that's on right now. So don't be left behind. Join us and have fun with us. Let me quickly go over the NFL, and then we will wrap this thing up for tonight. Right now, Seattle's playing Arizona on Sunday morning. I think that game is overseas. You got Minnesota playing Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a 40.5 point total. You got Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. You got New Orleans at Buffalo, Woodshed. You got Carolina at New England. You have Washington at Atlanta. You got the Cleveland Browns at Detroit, Woodshed. You got the Tennessee Titans at Houston in the lowest total game on the day, 38.5 point total. And I did some extensive research on both of them. They don't allow a lot of points on both sides, but they also don't score a lot of points.
They don't score, too.
It is dark season in New York City. You got the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to NYC to take on the New York Football Giants. And our quarterback will be starting his first game. Are they sending him to the Lions, or it was just time to make the move?
I'm kind of on. I think it was time to make a move because I think they needed that performance Monday night or Sunday night.
I watched the game. It was horrible.
Yeah, they needed some justification, and they got it. But you got to think, man, if we're going to say that the SEC is NFL light, NFL junior, Jackson Dart played 3 years in it. So, I mean, how much more prepared could he be without actually playing in the games to get experience? So, I think it's not a bad – if you're going to make the move, So,
Russell Wilson was horrible. That last drive, coach. Jackson Dart cannot do any – I couldn't do any worse than what I saw on that last drive.
Like hitting the goalposts on the throws and stuff was just –
As I was looking at it, there's a sense when you be like, man, you're playing with me. You're trying to get me fired. If I'm Debo, I'm just thinking, you're trying to get me fired. Because it really didn't make sense, but it was horrible. You got Jacksonville traveling to San Francisco. Man, if you just saw this at the beginning of the year, you wouldn't think this would be the game of the week. But you got Indianapolis traveling to the Los Angeles Rams.
Any dimes.
That is the game of the week, man. That's why I'm afraid for Jackson Dart, because everybody that left New York has been successful.
Yeah.
You got the Chicago Bears traveling to Las Vegas. You got my Baltimore Ravens, who will find a way somehow to blow a lead, or Derrick Henry will fumble the ball, or Lamar Jackson will sit there and dance around instead of just running the ball. Son, if they give you a lane, just go. Quit trying to prove to the world that you can throw the football. You're a two-time MVP. Who gives a care? Go win a Super Bowl, man. Coach, he hangs in the pocket and well, let me wait because I got to show him I can throw the football. I don't care. Go win. Coach is irritating, man. And now Derrick Henry, all I keep looking at every time he fumbles the ball is him running up hills with chains on his neck and tires behind him. He should have got all the tires, hooked them up on some type of gauntlet, and put some chains on the gauntlet and hit himself in the arm so he wouldn't keep fumbling the football. He's averaging a fumble a game. And his fumbles hurt. They had crucial moments.
Yeah. But at least you got something to be passionate about. I mean, I'm just a lifeless Titans fan. It could always be worse, man.
One of these teams will be 1-3 after that night. Green Bay is traveling to the Americans team. I don't know what America that is, because the Dallas Cowboys are cooked. Dak Prescott is cooked. The whole Dallas team is cooked. They are cooked. They're done, Coach. They're done.
They had us thinking Russell Wilson was about to have a comeback season.
And he was horrible. The way Russell Wilson looked, the Cowboys are terrible.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my father-in-law. I'm talking to my wife. The Cowboys are done. They are cooked. Flip them over. How about them Cowboys? They are terrible. That was my rant on that. It'll be 2 games on Monday night. You got the New York Football Jets. Why did I call them that? That's not them. I guess Justin Fields will be back, and who will be taking on Miami, who once again is trying to get their head coach sent back to San Francisco. because if they lose this game, I think that will be it. They will fire him after this game. And the lowly Cincinnati Bengals will be going to Denver. And the air ain't just thin in Denver, but they're going to realize that Jake Browning is not the answer. And I think they're going to lose that game as well. So that is our NFL outlook. My brother, I think we can get back with these people on Sunday night, and we can talk about the high school games, the college games, and then we will recap. We'll recap the NFL game. Anything else before we get off, my guy?
Man, we made it through another one, and going strong. And I just hope that picks have been made and stuff. I hope we're in a good mood come Sunday.
Oh man. Subscribe. You can subscribe to our YouTube page. You can subscribe for those that weren't able to catch the live tonight. It will be available in the morning. Usually when we do a show that night, the show will be available the next morning on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Amazon, or wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, set the notifications so when a new episode comes out, you don't miss the episode. So I am the defensive coordinator who's tired and will be tired after tomorrow because it will be on tomorrow because it's homecoming in Bruce. And, man, I'll see you tomorrow night. We got a special surprise for our pregame show next week, but we'll tell y'all about this Sunday. We need you to tune in. So from my brother to the left, to the right is one of them. And for myself, we thank everybody for joining us tonight. Until we see you again, keep running the football. Trust me, keep pounding that ball. The defense is going to be wore out eventually. And eventually, everything you thought wasn't going to work is now working because you wore the defense out. We'll see you Sunday.